Tyson, but Tyson obviously is in a different league now. 20,000 yes men around him. You know, this is what happens. I think we get to the top. There's a lot of leeches out there, a lot of hangers on. Well, you can see what's happening in America with him. Appalling work, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion, but I'm straightforward. But that's Tyson's business. He's over 21. It's up to him.
When you say Paulie, you're talking about the whole thing where, you know, he was going to fight AJ and then at the last minute suddenly he's fighting Deontay Wilder.
It's diabolical, isn't it? You know, you're geared up to fight one man, all of a sudden on the 11th hour, it's all sorted in 24 hours. He's signing contracts in the hall of a boxing venue. You know, they're around him like a locust. You know, and I think to myself, you know, how can you think straight with all that around you? It's, for my one, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. We can blame his team, can't he? No one else. Anything rushed is no good, and that's been rushed. He was fighting AJ. I wanted to fight AJ. I've no interest in Deontay Wilder. So why is he going to fight Wilder? I told him on a phone conversation, chuck the belt in the bin, let him have it, come back and fight AJ on the 14th of August like was planned. But who am I? I'm nobody, unfortunately.
Times. But the highs are great, the lows are terrible. After every extreme high, there's got to be even lower low for me. So when I beat Wilder, like last time, I returned home, and for the first 10 days, the only thing I think about was suicidal thoughts.
Amazing. Wow.
So yeah, it was very low time for me, and it took me 2 weeks to get right again. And this is after every extreme high. Somebody who's on a mental health patient level like myself, there's always going to be extreme lows. So the higher the high, the lower the low, and that's 100% true. But it's knowing how to manage and maintain these problems, and that's the word that is the key factor here. It's the maintenance word. Because if you can know yourself and know you're going to get well again in a few days, then you're going to be okay.
This is Stormy B-Man, and I'm back with another editorial. This time focusing on Mr. Tyson Fury. More like Houdini? Nah, son. Whodunit. This is a whodunit editorial. Like, who done all of the madness with surrounding this rubber match that is originally scheduled for July 24th, and Fury found himself pulling out of the match. There has been a record number of attempts to get out of this fight that first brought the arbitrators in, and then after ruling, this man pulls a stunt like he did late last week in coming up with the C-19 excuse, which, by the way, you can expect that to be something that fighters will pull out of their hats and promoters will utilize to make excuses of why bouts may not take place. You heard the earliest soundbite on this video where Fury's father spoke of him having 20,000 yes men around him, and the fact that everybody is placating him and playing up to him. Well, Fury is the sort of individual, he doesn't need that from people. He does it all by himself, according to what we've seen of him. To accuse the circumstances surrounding the fact that he has to face Wilder in an obligated third fight, he's calling it diabolical, okay? And in the 11th hour, signing contracts when he had something going with Anthony Joshua, which was not true at all. But here we're seeing the man who referred to himself as Houdini be the one who is questionable once again with his antics and how he's coming about going into this rubber match. Word has it that sparring partners have been getting the better of him and that he is not looking like so much of a world champion in there, but just another moderate heavyweight contender. The fact of the matter is, if you assess exactly what's going on, according to what I understand, both Efe Ajagba and Jared Anderson, they're two of the most prominent young promising fighters in the division. So it's not so much that you're not on your A game, Mr. Fury. What it really comes down to is the talent is catching up. And the fact that you haven't fought quality opposition outside of Vladimir Klitschko, which was years ago, and Deontay Wilder as of recent, it speaks volumes about where you actually are in your talent yourself. His father referred to the bout as being rushed. It's been 17 months that the rematch was supposed to take place a year ago. All you did was give Deontay Wilder more time to focus and regalvanize what he wants to bring in a new wrinkle entering the third fight. He's asking Fury's dad why he gotta fight Wilder. Because he's contractually obligated. Okay, they signed a deal. This man, Fury's dad, speaks as if there are no rules, but they are. But you're so accustomed to breaking and bending and circumventing them. This is what you guys do. But over here, there is a certain thing called integrity, and it will be forced upon you. Because remember, if he doesn't face Wilder, he has to retire. Okay? Chuck the belt in the bin. Listen, man, the belt isn't what's of value. It's the man who carries the belt. And since your son, after his victory over Vladimir Klitschko, threw those belts in the bin at that time, with his drug abuse and failing PED exams and everything, the belt was in the bin and has been picked up by Wilder and also AJ. Come back and fight AJ on 8/14 as originally planned. Whose plan was that, Mr. Fury? Huh? It definitely wasn't the arbitrators, because he ruled something totally different. And you asked, who are you? You are a nobody. Just like after this rubber match takes place, your son will be a nobody. Another footnote in the history of the sport that we'll be able to trample upon because you have no integrity, you have no dignity. Okay? Fury spoke of in the earlier soundbite, he has suicidal thoughts after his victory. The higher the high, the lower the low is how he spoke of it. You know what you are? Dysfunctional. And being dysfunctional is not something to attach yourself to for people who have real mental illness. Because it's not that you have mental illness, okay? You have inadequacy And you were raised in an environment of inadequacy, and people can see it for what it is when they have a keen sense of what's going on. When you stared Deontay Wilder down, just like in this photo here, at that one and only press conference, you nearly shat yourself because you saw exactly what you didn't see the first two go-arounds. You saw a man that's on a mission, and his mission is you. And you are the one that is going to have to pay recompense because of what you have done and how you have brought this along. This image here of you stretched, that's a reality. It happened, and it's going to happen again. There is no easy way out. You have to face your demons, just like anyone who actually had mental health. But see, this is the thing. You're going to get schooled by a person of integrity, okay? And also by a giant who was once sleeping and now is awake. Think about it. This is Stormy B Man. I want to say shout out to the LDBC, the Lions Den boxing community, and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave comments, leave thoughts. Let me know what you think about Houdini, or is it Whodunit? Because we're seeing it for what it really is. Salute to the Wilder camp for staying the course, because it won't be long. How do they say, brother in church? How long? Not long. How long? Not long. Salute to the Bronze Bomber. Do your thing, champ. The belt is right there, is for yours for the taking. You know what you have to do. These men have worked diligently to try to back out of this. But the thing was, they shouldn't have never got mixed up in it if they weren't prepared to go as deep as it was going to get. And remember, when you talk about the depth of individuals, you see how shallow they be when their heart is put to the test and their deeds are put to task. Stormy B Man, catch you on the next one. Everyone out there, peace and remain safe.